I've been hauling freight for close to 15 years, and if there's one thing you learn fast, it's that the road at night has its own personality, especially when you're running solo through the middle of nowhere. That night I was pushing eastbound through rural Nebraska. Empty highway, no street lights, no traffic, just my headlights cutting a narrow tunnel through the dark while my reefer hummed steady behind me. It was one of those stretches drivers call a ghost run, the kind where you can drive 40 miles and never see another soul. Around 2:40 a.m., that dead hour when your body's awake but your instincts are sharper than your thoughts, I felt it. A slow, dragging pull, like my trailer suddenly gained a few thousand pounds. My speed bled off even though my foot stayed planted, the engine straining just enough to make me glance down at the gauges. Everything looked clean. Temps good, air pressure solid. No warning lights. Still, the rig felt wrong, like it was fighting me. I checked my mirrors. Nothing but darkness and my own taillights flickering red in the distance. I told myself it was wind shear or road grade, the kind of excuse you make when you don't want to panic. Then I heard it. One heavy knock. Then another. Not metal on metal, not cargo shift. It sounded like something settling its weight. My grip tightened as the thumping crept forward, closer to the front of the trailer. I keyed up the CB. Breaker 19. Any drivers near mile marker 206? Static hissed back, thick and empty. Then a voice slipped through, barely there. Driver, you stopped recently? My chest went tight. Negative, I said. Why? There was a pause, long enough to make my skin crawl. Because your trailer ain't riding right. And right then, the weight shifted again. Harder this time, like something had climbed up and leaned forward, pressing down, testing how much the truck could take. My heart was hammering now, the kind of hard, uneven pounding you feel when your gut knows something your brain doesn't want to accept, and the rig kept pulling like I was hauling a second load I never logged. I eased off the throttle, testing it, and the truck responded sluggish, like it didn't want to let go. The thumping came again, heavy, deliberate impact, closer this time, followed by a long scraping sound that ran along the roof of the trailer, slow and controlled, like nails dragging across steel. I flipped on my brights and checked my mirrors again, half expecting to see a tarp loose or a blown strap, but there was nothing, just black nothing stretching forever. You seeing this? I asked into the CB. Voice tight, static answered. Then the same driver came back, quieter now. Buddy, don't slow down. That's when the truck lurched hard, the steering wheel jerking in my hands as the weight shifted forward again, pressing down on the back axle so hard I thought I'd lose traction. A warning alarm chirped, brief but sharp, and I felt sweat break out across my neck. I mashed the gas, the engine roaring, and the trailer fought me like it didn't want to move. The scraping turned into crawling, slow, uneven movement crossing from one side of the trailer to the other, testing balance, learning. Then I heard it over the engine, over my own breathing. Something breathing back there. Not loud, not panicked, calm, patient. I hit the CB again. What the hell is it? The reply came shaky. I don't know, but I saw this happen once before. My stomach dropped. What? I asked. There was a pause. Then he said it. A rig overturned. Trailer peeled open. Driver never climbed out. The weight slammed forward again, and I felt the cab dip as if something had braced itself against the front wall of the trailer. I realized then it wasn't random. Whatever was back there was moving with purpose, shifting its weight to control the truck, figuring out how much pressure it needed. I kept my eyes locked on the road, knuckles white, praying for headlights, a ramp, anything, when the scraping stopped suddenly. Dead quiet. No thumps, no movement, just the engine and my pulse. That silence scared me worse than the noise, because it felt like whatever was back there had finished testing me and decided what to do next. If you've ever driven a road that felt a little too empty, a little too quiet, you already know why these stories stick with you. If this one got under your skin, stay with us. There are more miles ahead, and not every road lets you leave the same way you entered. Subscribe, keep your eyes forward, and don't stop listening. Out here, the road never forgets. Most truckers will tell you the same thing. It's not the driving that gets to you, it's the stopping. That night I was hauling dry freight southbound through western Pennsylvania, winding back roads, low hills, thick tree lines pressing in on both sides, the kind of place where your headlights barely touch what's hiding beyond them. I'd been running hard all night, and by the time the dash clock hit 3:11 a.m., my eyes were burning and my reaction time felt just a half second slow. I spotted it ahead, a small roadside rest stop. No big signage, just a faded blue marker and a cracked entrance ramp. Normally I'd push on, but something in me said pull in, catch 10 minutes, splash water on your face. The lot was almost empty, just one old rig parked way off near the tree line. Engine cold, cab dark. I eased my truck into a space under a flickering light that buzzed like it was fighting to stay alive. When I cut the engine, the silence hit hard. No traffic, no wind, no bugs, just dead stillness. I sat there longer than usual, hand resting on the wheel, that quiet itch crawling up my spine, telling me something wasn't right. I stepped out anyway, boots crunching on gravel louder than they should have been, the air damp and cold, like rain had passed through recently. As I walked toward the restroom building, I noticed the other truck again. Its trailer door was open just a crack. I wasn't right. Reefer loads don't sit like that. Neither do dry vans. I slowed, eyes locked on that thin, dark gap. Then I heard it, a slow sound like weight shifting inside metal. I stopped cold. Hello? My voice felt swallowed by the trees. The creak came again, followed by something softer, like boots being pulled across a floor. My pulse spiked as the restroom light behind me flickered once, twice, then went steady. And that's when I realized the cab of that other truck was no longer dark. There was a dim glow inside the other truck's cab, like someone had just turned on the dash and was sitting there, waiting. My chest tightened as I stared at that dim glow inside the other truck's cab, trying to convince myself it was just a reflection or a sleeper light someone forgot to kill. But deep down I knew better. Nobody leaves a rig powered up at a dead rest stop without a reason. I took a slow step back, boots crunching on gravel, and that's when the door of the other truck creaked wider, metal groaning, not swinging free, just opening enough to let something shift inside. A sour, damp smell rolled out, like old oil mixed with wet earth, and my stomach turned. I keyed my radio without even thinking. Breaker 19, anyone parked at the Pine Ridge rest stop? The CB answered with nothing but static, thick and heavy, like the air itself didn't want sound traveling through it. The dragging noise came again, clearer now, a slow, uneven scraping, and I realized it wasn't boots. It was something being pulled, catching, then sliding free. The glow in the cab flickered, and for half a second, I saw a silhouette lean forward against the windshield, too tall, neck bent at an angle that didn't look natural. I backed up another step and bumped into my own rig, the metal cold against my spine. That's when the door of the other truck opened, not fast, not aggressive, a deliberate creak, like whoever was inside knew I was watching and wanted me to hear every inch of it. A foot touched the pavement, bare, pale, wrong, followed by another slow step. I couldn't see the face, just the shape moving under the flickering light, head tilted slightly like it was listening to my breathing. "Hey," it said, voice dry and cracked, like it hadn't been used in a long time. "You got the time?" My throat locked up. Every instinct screamed run, but my legs felt bolted in place. The thing took another step toward me, and the dragging noise followed behind it, coming from inside the trailer now, like something else was still moving back there. I shook my head and forced my mouth to work. "I'm rolling out," I said, backing toward my door. The silhouette stopped. For a moment, everything went still. Then the smile caught the light. Cold, low, stretching past where a mouth should end. "You shouldn't," it said softly. "They don't like it when drivers leave early." That was it. I spun, yanked open my cab door, and climbed in, slamming the lockdown as hard as I could. The engine fired on the first turn like it had been waiting. As I pulled out, tires spitting gravel, I glanced in the mirror and saw the figure standing between the trucks, arm raised, not waving, just pointing toward the tree line. And behind it, shapes were moving in the dark, slow and patient, like they knew exactly where I was headed next. There's an unspoken rule out on the road that every long-haul driver learns fast. Channel 19 is for real talk only. Weather, wrecks, bears in the median, nothing else. Because once the sun goes down, you don't joke on the CB. I was hauling a late load through northern Arizona, 2-lane highway, red rock on both sides, no cell service, no exits for miles. The kind of stretch where even your GPS feels unsure of itself. It was just past 1:50 a.m. when the radio cracked to life on its own. Static crackled. At first I thought it was skip or interference, but then a voice cut through, clean and close. "Eastbound driver, you shouldn't be out here tonight." My foot eased off the gas without me thinking. Nobody had called my handle. Nobody had given a mile marker. I grabbed the mic. "Who's this?" Static answered. Then the voice came back, closer somehow. "Doesn't matter. You passed the turnout back there. That was your last safe spot." My skin prickled. I checked my mirrors. Empty road. No headlights, no taillights. "You messing with me?" I asked, forcing a chuckle I didn't feel. The CB clicked once. Then, "I'm trying to help you." A chill crawled up my arms. I hadn't told anyone my route, hadn't said where I was headed. The voice continued, slow and patient, like it had all the time in the world. "There's a curve ahead, tight one. Truck went down there earlier." I frowned. I'd checked traffic reports before rolling. No accidents logged. The radio crackled again. Driver didn't die on impact. My grip tightened on the wheel as the road ahead dipped slightly, shadows stretching long across the pavement. "How do you know that?" I asked. The answer came immediately. No hesitation, because I'm still hearing him. And right then, from somewhere far ahead, carried faint on the night air, I heard a sound no trucker ever forgets. Twisted metal screaming, slow and distant, like it was happening again, just for me. My breath caught in my throat as that sound faded, leaving nothing but the low rumble of my engine and the hollow quiet of the desert, and I realized my hands were shaking on the wheel. "You said there was a curve," I muttered into the CB, more to hear another voice than to get answers. The reply came instantly. "Ease off now. 45. Not a mile more." I glanced at my speed, 62, and slowed, heart thudding, eyes locked on the headlights carving into the dark. The road bent sharply left just ahead, tighter than it looked on the map, guardrail twisted and scarred like it had been hit hard, fresh skid marks cut across the pavement. My stomach dropped. "How do you know all this?" I asked. Static hissed, then the voice came back. Weaker, strained, "Because I didn't slow down." As I rounded the curve, my headlights caught it. Down below the embankment, half hidden by rock and scrub, the wrecked remains of a rig. Terrier torn open like a can. Metal folded in ways steel shouldn't bend. I slammed the brakes, tires screaming, chest burning as panic surged. The CB crackled wildly. "You're stopped where I stopped." Cold washed over me. "You're dead," I said before I could stop myself. There was a long pause, then softly, "Yeah." The radio clicked once. Silence. No static, no carrier, just dead air on Channel 19. I sat there for a long time before rolling again, crawling past the curve and not stopping until I hit a truck stop glowing like a city in the dark. I asked around the next morning. Highway Patrol confirmed it. A fatal rollover 2 nights earlier. Driver never made it out. Since that night, I still run Channel 19. But when a voice calls me by direction instead of handle, I don't answer questions. I listen. And if this story stayed with you, if it made the road feel a little quieter than it should, stay tuned. There are more stories out there, waiting for the right driver to hear them.